with the chidah for Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Okay, to explain to the girls what does it mean that one candle lit for one pach shemen managed to stay for 8 days. She said, just imagine your cell phone is dead,
Right.
and you only charge it for 1 hour, and it lasts for 8 days. They all got it.
Yeah. All right, so we're holding Daf Gimel and Beis Tanu Rabbanan, 3 lines from the bottom. Today's Daf Daled. Agut Tevach, everybody. Yeshua's not here. I have keys. If anybody needs, do we need? Hold on. We have keys in case they're the ones spoken. Here, in case we need air conditioning. There's water, drinks, cookies, whatever. Okay, fine. Fine, let's move. Tanu Rabbanan. Shchitas kuti munteres. So we're talking about a kusi the other day. Kusi again is, we're going to assume that they're geirei emes now. The geirei, so if the kusi does shchita, you're allowed to eat from it. V'med dvar ma'amurim, kisi yisrael oimid al gabav. So pay attention here. What does it say? When is it mutter? When the Jew is there, another Jew is watching him. With mashma that what? That if the Jew goes in and out, is no good. If he walks in, he wasn't there the whole time, and he found him already that the shechita was done. There is a way out of it. You could give him a kezayis, you give him the taste test. If he's willing to eat from it, that means it's kosher because a kusi only eats kosher. He's makbid on shechita. So this is a little bit of a problem because on the one hand it says that Oimid al-Gabov, he has to be there 24/7. Then it says, well, if he wasn't there 24/7, he's nichnas v'yotzei, you give him this test, it's also good. Now, if the kusi doesn't eat it, then it's also to eat. Why? Because the kusi is very makbid on shechita, but he's not makbid on lifnei iver leisita michshol, because they learned the Torah literally, and lifnei iver leisita michshol means don't put a stumbling block in front of a blind person. But it has nothing to do with Averis. You let it be machshel other people. Maybe it's a good thing to be machshel other people. Chayotzei boy, another case. Motza biyodoi the kuria shel tziparim. Rashi says it's like a bunch of birds strung together on a string. Tosfos says they're in a basket. So again, you do the test. You chop off a head, you give it to the kusi. You don't want to give him too much meat for the test. You give him the smallest. What's the thing that nobody eats? Okay. They're not makbid on kazai on kazaisim. You saw that somewhere? Okay. But so it has to be a larger head then, or something chashav. Fine. Enough basar in the head, because I'm assuming a chicken's head doesn't really have a kazai's basar in it. That's what I'm thinking to myself. I don't know. Okay.
A big bird.
A big bird. Okay, like a basayana. Well, no, that wouldn't be kosher. What? A peacock. Oh.
I got the word of the day.
Yes, I know. This is the ulpan. Yeah.
What's the peacock called?
But a peacock is a tavaz. But is a peacock's head that much larger than a? You just wanted to show off your Hebrew. I got it. Okay, fine.
Exactly.
Great.
Tavaz, right? It's a sound.
The feathers.
Yeah, right. Especially when they.
Abaye says the Gemara. So yesterday we had the machlokes between Abaye and Rava. Do you need Oimer al Gabav, you need mashgiach tmidi, or a nichnas v'yotzei mashgiach is enough? So Abaye doik mireisha. It says mefurish in the reisha. Rava doik mesev. Abaye doik mireisha time of the Yisrael Oimer al Gabav. It says mefurish that the Jew has to be there. Mashma v'yotzei v'nichnas loy. Going in and out, not letting him know when it is, obviously, but coming in and out is not good. Rava doik mesev. Time of the bow mitzoy sheshochat avayotzei v'nichnas shabedami. It says that he found him after the fact, and you can still eat it. So it's mashma that if he didn't find him, that it was yotzei v'nichnas, would be 100% good. You wouldn't have to do a test. Now the Gemara says the obvious, but at the end of the day, it says mefurish that is oimid al gabav. Well, Abaye asked the Gemara, what? So what is Abaye going to do from the sefer that says mitzoi? Mashma that yotzei v'nichnas is good. They're one and the same. Yoitziv and Nichnas. Bo Mitzay is the same. What does Yoitziv and Nichnas mean? He comes in and out. So one time when he came in, he found that it was already shechted. So that is the case of Yoitziv and Nichnas. What happened?
I'm troubled because the Kusim didn't keep the Darbama.
Yeah.
Is the bird 5 Schritte with the rice?
I have no idea. Well, you just ask Gemara's kashas. Yeah, of course. Kasha the Gemara. Next kasha coming up. So let's see. Says the Gemara, he's mechaven all the time. The problem is, he's not mechaven. He remembers it. Sometimes he has the old shas in his pocket, and he just whips it out, one thing after another. He doesn't realize that he knows it. Fine.
No, this is not this question.
Okay, well, Rava Kashiration. Now, what does Rava do? Rava says, Yoitziv and Nichnas, coming in and out is perfect. So then why in the world does it say that the Jew is on top of him? It says Mitzoy al Gabav doesn't literally mean Mitzoy al Gabav. It means it's Yoitziv and Nichnas, and it just calls it al Gabav. So now the Gemara is going to go and analyze the second part of the brisa where it says that if he found a kusi with a lot of birds, so all the kusi has to do is eat one of the many birds, and all the birds are kosher. As the Gemara, maybe the kusi recognizes the one bird you gave him, right? You have a bunch of chickens, and then you have a peacock. And the Jew says, well, I have to give him a peacock because that's a kizayis. So he chops off the peacock, gives him, and the kusi knows, hey, that's the one that I did shchita on, but all the chickens I didn't do shchita b'chlal. And he's going to be machshel you. Says the Gemara, Omer Rav Menashe, Siman Machnes Zemel B'scharim. Basically, the Gemara gives a siman here of the three things that Rav Menashe brought down in Shas. Taisus is like an encyclopedia. He goes through all the times that there's many places in Shas that Rav Menashe has brought down. But these are the 3 times in Chulin that he's brought down. And this machnes is our sugya. It's talking about he did a trick. He took all his birds in the basket or in the string, put him behind his back, chopped off a head and gave him one. He didn't show him which one. Asked the Gemara, okay, but still it's recognizable. You can see which bird. Maybe he knows which one he shefted. So the Gemara, it has to be that he crushed the head. It's not recognizable, and he still ate from it, meaning all the birds had a kosher shchita, and that's why you're allowed to eat from it. So that's your kasha. It doesn't mention anywhere in the Torah. It says it says that you have to shecht a cow, you have to shecht a sheep. It doesn't say anywhere in the Torah that you have to shecht a bird. And since a kusi doesn't really care about your drushas, so maybe he holds that you don't have to shecht a bird, and that's why he's eating from it. The fact that he's eating these birds is not a raya that he shechted it. So the Gemara,
only the kusim hold that it's the rabbanon, but Ma'aser is the right.
no.
Maybe the Gemara is asking now. Maybe the kusim hold that it's not. It's the rabbanon. Meaning we hold it.
Yeah, so it's a machlokes. This is a machlokes, right? It could be. It's certainly not a mefurish pasuk. The question is if the pasuk is strong enough. What? Yeah, but that's something else. No. Says the Gemara, will tameich. Okay, so you're telling me that shchita is the right. So shehi odrasa chalada hagrama v'ikur miksivon. But even regular shchita on an animal that's deraisa, fine. It says in the Torah v'zavachtem b'karcha. But where in the Torah does it say the five things you're not allowed to push down? You can't come from behind. You can't. There's a certain place in the neck. Hagrama, ikur. All these things are all halacha mishum Sinai. It's interesting that Rashi later on says that it is a deraisa. The Gemara brings it down here. Fine. That's a question that we'll deal with maybe later. Agaponim, the 5 things are halacha mishum Sinai, and they're makbin on it. Ella kivin achzikubu. Once they decide to do something and they take it upon themselves, they'll do it even though there's some derabbanans. Hachanami. So by shchitas oif, by the bird, kivin achziku. So then say the same thing. this bird, they have a minhag to shecht it, so that's why they shecht it. So what if it's the Rabbanan? V'achzuk v'lo yachzuk,
And that's why it works.
and that's why it works. So let's say I'll give it to you. I'll say you're right. The shechita of a bird is only the Rabbanan. But guess what? Once a kusi does something with the Rabbanan, we could rely on him. V'achzuk v'lo yachzuk b'deloi ksiv v'tanoi. So now the Gemara is going to bring a machlokes tanoim. If something that is not mefurish in the Torah, such as shchita soif, and the kusi decides, the kusim collectively agreed that they're going to take it upon themselves and do shchita soif, can we rely on it or not? So that's actually machlokes tanoim. We're going to hold like the Tana that says that it's valid. The sanya matzahs kusi muteris. The matzah of a kusi is mutter. Not only is it mutter, v'adam yotze b'dei chavasi b'pesach, yotze mitzvahs matzah. So we don't have to worry that there's chametz in it. And also yotze mitzvahs matzah. In a second, the Gemara is going to ask, isn't that the same halacha? If it's not chametz, then why can't you be yotze matzah? Rebbe Lezer oiser. Rebbe Lezer says it's no good. The fish ain't bekim b'tikduke mitzvahs ki Yisrael. Kusi doesn't know how to keep chametz, how to the 18 minutes, whatever it is. The different halachas that we have in chametz, they don't know. They don't understand it. There's a kisuf, there's a coloring that changes in the dough, whatever it is. These things that halachas that we have, we know how to keep. They don't. Any mitzvah that the kusim decide to take upon themselves, they are actually better than the Jews in it. So Memela, what? The Gemara is going to say what that means. Are they adding something or they're taking off? What are they doing exactly? Kol mitzvah. Omar mar, matzahs kusim mutares, v'adam yotze b'dei chavasi b'pesach. Pshita. If the matzah is not chametz, so then of course you could use it for the Seder night. What's the big chiddush in that? Mao the same lo beki b'shimur. Says Rashi. Shimur, according to Rashi, means they don't know how to say l'shem matzahs mitzvah. In order to make a matzah, in order to be yotze l'chatchila matzah on Pesach night, you have to say l'shem matzahs mitzvah, and they don't know how to do it. Kamash malon that. No, that's your pshat. Rashi says l'shem matzahs mitzvah.
You have to say it. You have to think
If they back in all the halachas, why wouldn't they?
Let's see what Rashi says.
Say it.
Has to be the shimur. Not the making of the mashal. It's the keeping of the wheat.
Where's this Rashi? I lost it. It's not a no, this is later on, no? Yeah, then I saw. No, there's another one here. Okay, I don't see that. So we're going to go with what you said. Shimur has to be the Shem Matzahs Mitzvah. Okay, Rebbe Lezer Oyser, the fi she'ein bekim b'tikdukim mitzvos. Kosover lebeki b'shimur. So now it's very interesting. Now lebeki b'shimur is a different pshat. Before, a second ago, we said, you hear? Rashi says, what does shimur mean? Shem matzahs mitzvah. Now the Gemara says a second later, Rebbe Lezer Oyser the fi she'ein bekim b'tikdukim mitzvos. Kosover lebeki b'shimur. What does that mean? Not matzahs mitzvah. They don't know how to keep chametz. Now he's not talking about Lishma anymore. Keep it from B'chametz. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel lo imer kol mitzvah shechzik b'kusim harbe medaktik v'yisim Yisrael. Any mitzvah that a kusi takes upon himself, he does it better than a Jew. I don't want to bring any examples. I thought about Arabs and whatever. I'm not going to get into that. But this what? That's not a kusi. The machine does it better than a Jew.
They do the halachas, but they don't say the Shem Mitzvahs Matzah.
You're saying stam is but they do when they turn it on. I'm sure they say the same. When they turn on the machine, the guy says the Shem Matzah, and he pushes the button.
The guy that built Telescope is the Kuti.
Who?
The guy that built the Kavlan that built Telescope.
Oh, they still exist, these kusim?
Yeah.
These are not. These are the people that's Nebuchadnezzar. You're talking about the guys from Nebuchadnezzar. Who's their god? Nebuchadnezzar. They have.
They go to the mountain or something.
That's the Shomarim or Kusim.
Who? Karaim. Yeah, that's something else. Fine. Kusim are gone. They're eaten by the lions. Now, correct the Gemara, but Hainu Tanakama. What did he add to the Tanakama? So the Tanakama says that you could eat the matzah. Comes along Reb Shimon Gamliel and he says, you know what? Any mitzvah that the Kusi keeps, he does it better than the Jew, and therefore what? You could eat his matzah. So then what did he add to the Tanakama? If it says it mefurish in the Torah, and they don't keep it, we don't know if they do or not. We can't rely on them. Tanakama Sovar, Kivin de Ksiva, something like matzah that says mefurish in the Torah, you have to do it. So even if we don't know that they did or not, we could rely on their matzah because it says mefurish in the Torah. The Kusim keep the Torah. They keep whatever it says mefurish in the Torah. Reb Shimon Gamliel Sovar, I achzuk in, Eloi achzuk loy. So Reb Shimon Gamliel comes and says he's machmir. He says no, it's not everything in the Torah. It's everything in the Torah that we know for sure that they keep. As to Gemara, if he's saying less than the Tanakama, according to the Tanakama, 613 things that they keep, we could rely on. Comes from Shimon Gamliel, no, only 3 things. Let's say the 3 things that we know for sure: shchita and tzitzis and one other thing, whatever it is. So no, matzah not. That's the question here. So only 3 things. So it's not kol shirziku. It's not kol. It should be ein machzikin. It should be the opposite. Kol means even more than what the Tanakama says, 613, and I'm saying kol shirziku. Everything, even the Rabbanans, let's say, it doesn't fit so well into the words. Yachi kol mitzvah shirziku bakusin. That's not the right words. It should say im machziku mibaylei. What qualifies it is whether or not they were machzik. So it's not the word kol means a ribui. Im is a miut. It should be im. Says the Gemara. So you have to say that the machlokes is, what's the difference? The difference is in a case where it doesn't say it in the Torah and they were machzik. What's the example? What doesn't it say in the Torah and they're machzik? Shchita Zoif. Our sugya. Very good. So that's what the Gemara is bringing. Here we have a machlokes. Tanoim, Reb Shimon Gamliel is going to hold that Shchitas Oif is not in the Torah, but since they're machzik it, since they do it, we could still rely on them. That's why the Gemara brought this whole sugya.
So why don't they call it mummer then? If they only keep
Whoa, nothing to do with mummer. Nothing to do. Mummer is a different sugya.
Yeah, but they're not keeping the whole Torah.
Oh, why are they not called mumarim?
Yeah, that's mummer.
But a mummer is good. We said a mummer l'tiyavain. A mummer is Yisrael.
Yeah.
No. But a mummer is okay by shchita.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Taisus just points out that it's Taisus Ikke B'nai D'Lechsiv V'Achziku. He points out that it not that the Gemara had charata from the first thing that the Gemara said. There's 2 machlokes in. The Gemara just said there's a machlokes in something that's not in the Torah but the machzik. Says Taisus, but they also have a machlokes if it is in the Torah and they don't keep it. So they have 2 machlokes in. In the Torah they don't keep it. They keep it and it's not in the Torah. It's 2 separate machlokes in. Reb Shimon Gamliel says what's important to us is if they're machzik, and the Tanakama says what's important to us is if they keep it or not. Fine. By the way, places before, I noticed I pointed it out to myself. So I'll even though we just passed the sugya by matzah that we could eat a matzah from a kusi, but they're not makbid on lifnei iver. So maybe they gave you some garbage matzah, chametz. So Taisus says you have to watch him eat it. He would have to eat that kind of matzah. You can't just buy matzah from a kusi store. You have to make sure that he ate it or that he doesn't. What?
I'm not accepting the action anymore.
Not a good action. No, there's a lot of mashgichim today that they are in a place, let's say a mashgiach of some kashrus that says, look, I don't eat it, but I'm a mashgiach of this kashrus. In many places, like
Yeah.
Rabbanut mashgiach. He says, I don't eat the Rabbanut, but I'm the mashgiach of the Rabbanut.
One of my relatives, a very, very close relative of mine, gave the hechsher for Hebrew National. And that was his svar. He said, I don't need it, but I might as well give a hechsher so that non-religious Jews, he had all sorts of, when they pay you millions, you have a lot of svars. There's a lot of, so anyways, yeah. So, family politics.
He was higher authority.
What? I don't know. I know they shut on a very, very high speed. It's very, very difficult to be. He said from people should not eat from it. That's what he said. He said from people don't eat from it. I'm giving it so that a non-from person who's going to eat treif probably, and he goes to a ball game, at least he'll have some sort of, a Jew shechted it and it was somewhat kosher, whatever that means. But you don't touch it. It's not like you would bring hot dogs home. Goof up. Right. Goof up. Omar Rava. Says Rava, Yisrael Mumar, right? So Ravashi brought Rava. Yesterday we had Ravashi, one of the 6 pshatim that we had in the mission was Ravashi, and Ravashi had to rely on Rava, and at the end the Gemara said that Rava himself would hold of himself. What did Rava say? Omar Rava, Yisrael Mumar Oichel Nevelas L'Teyavain. If you have a Jew that went off the derech because he's about taiva, and we explained what does about taiva mean? It's not so convenient for him to eat kosher, so he doesn't eat kosher. But if he had the 2 things in front of him, that's what the Gemara is going to go into. The kosher Jew checks the knife, makes sure that it's kosher, gives it to the mumar, and he gets checked. And you're allowed to eat it. My time. Since there's 2 things in front of him, heter and isur, treif and kosher. A mumar l'tiyavain, if he has the choice in front of him, I'll check it out with my relative. If he has a choice in front of him, I'll ask him what he does. But the Gemara says if he has in front of kosher and not kosher, he'll reach for the kosher. He's not that bad. It's when he has to walk. The Gemara says, Yachi kilei nami. Then why do you have to check the knife? He's not going to check treif. He's only going to check kosher. Mitrach Torah. If it involves him going somewhere, walking somewhere, lifting up his pinky, no. But if it's mamish easy in front of him, then it works. And this is very interesting because Tosfos on Amud Beis is going to point out something interesting. That this is halacha b'negeh to food, and we can relate to that. When somebody's hungry, then all of a sudden he doesn't want to do anything. He wants to eat right now. Right now, you have a McDonald's. Boom, let's go in there and eat. Why should I wait another half hour? I'm hungry. But if it's something to do with money, let's say, if he has to travel somewhere in order not to do an isser, then Tosfos says it might be different. It's because it's food. Food is the type right now. I need to eat right now. It's interesting Tosfos. We'll see soon. All the Rabban on the Rava, Tayanim Sayela.
And therefore the non-food situation was he's worse.
No. Then we could rely on him. Then we don't have the svara. That's what Tosfos says. We'll get there soon. You'll see because it's an automatic question in the sugi later on. Like what's going on here? It's a tircha. He says no. It's not that he's lazy. A mumar is not lazy, but he has a taiva, and a taiva's achila is a taiva for now. Taiva's mamain doesn't necessarily mean now.
What about other things? It's got time to go drive to football match on Shabbos.
What you mean? A mumar l'Shabbos to watching?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Beseder, right? That's not lahachis. As long as it's not lahachis.
So the guy's on
But a guy. Here's the question. The question is you have a mumar that we know that eats treif. Could you apply that to Pesach, to Chometz? That's the question. So Tosfos says no. You can make a distinction. Just because he's over on taiva here doesn't mean that I'll over taiva over there. Let's turn the page and we'll see it better.
We're talking about when he's hungry. When he's hungry, we don't let him check. But if he's not hungry, so then he'll do the tzilch and he'll check the knife.
Okay. So each case is you have to see.
At the end of the trip, you will see that somebody is for Shabbos, for Hesia is an exception. Always
No good.
yeah.
Right. Then his yain is yainesach. It's very problematic. Yeah.
Maybe it's like
Omelei Rabbanon l'Rava.
Somebody walks in a tray for place, isn't that
But Shabbos is different. Shabbos. Omelei Rabbanon l'Rava. Tanya D'Misayelach. I have proof. So we're trying, Rabbi Yisai, we're trying to bring proof that a mumar l'tayavain, a guy that went off, that only eats treif because of taiva, his shchita is a good shchita. So how do you prove it? It says, chametzin shel oivrei aveira achar pesach. A guy has a taiva, he doesn't want to sell his chametz. Why? Because he's going to lose money. Right? That's what Rashi says. Mipnei efseidah. He doesn't. That's his taiva. Right? He doesn't.
He
Right.
He doesn't want to get rid of it.
No. It's before. Now, mutar miyad. He's allowed to eat it. The v'dalat on the base. He's allowed to eat it immediately after. According to Rashi, you don't even have to wait. Kidei sheyasu. It's mamish. As soon as Yontif goes out, you're allowed to eat this guy's chametz. Because they switch out. Even this guy, he's a bad guy. He wanted to save money. He didn't want to burn his chametz Erev Pesach. It was too much for him to take all his whiskey and put it in the fire. No, that he's not going to do. So he left it on the shelf. But matzah yontif, we have to assume that he switched it out. Let's see Rashi. It's a very important Rashi here. Top Rashi. Second line now. B'shel goyim. The kivin the matzah lechol atero. Since he could eat something that's mutter. The chametz shel nachi shel olav pesach mutter. Le'yochel lidei. He's not going to eat his own chametz. The chametz shel Yisrael shel olav pesach also. That he's makbid on. He's not going to eat chametz shel olav pesach. But he's not going to be mevar either. So now Rashi has a good kasha. Time out. It's also by no. The halacha is, if a Jew goes into his friend's house and takes his whiskey and breaks all the bottles on Pesach, he's potter. Why? Because it's chametz shel Pesach. Yeah. So then, how can he take this whiskey and trade it and get food and sell it to another Jew? If the guy wouldn't receive the chametz. This chametz that overlap a Pesach, he's getting a benefit from. I'll prove it to you, says Rashi. What did he do? He erased it out?
No, we put it on low battery mode as opposed to closed. I'm not sure if it makes a difference. It's probably fine.
Okay.
Just talk slower.
Or we could use Gary's phone. Right? So he's using this chametz, Shavalav Pesach, to buy, to do a trade. He's bartering with the guy. So he's having a no. Purta Ovid says Rashi Lidom Mia Shari, but the Jew is allowed, the bad guy is allowed to sell it to a good guy. Why? The Eilucha Isra No Toivus Chalifin Chutz Mavidizor Vegdish Shvius. Fine. So that's what's important to us. That says Rashi that you're right. It's Osir Bahana, but the Isra doesn't transfer to the good chametz. That only happens by Avodazara and a couple other things, but not by chametz.
So you're saying that he won't go down and switch a knife, but he's going to switch his whole stock of whiskey.
Oh, very good. That's exactly what Tosfos is talking about. That's why I brought the Tosfos. This mummer guy, he's going to go and travel and make himself a sugar with the Arab and switch and all that. He's lazy. Says Tosfos, laziness is when he's starving and he wants to eat a burger now. He doesn't, I'm not going to wait. I'll go into McDonald's and eat. That's taivas achila. We could all relate to that. We're on a diet. We see the food. We want to eat it now, so we eat it. I'm on a diet. Too bad. Taivas achila is strong. But for him to say, look, I'm going to save $25 if I don't do it, you know what? And do and make myself a sugar.
He thinks he's going to
People do that all the time.
Because he's got enough chametz that he'd want to eat and he's trading it for something better, so he thinks he's doing a good deal.
Good deal.
So he's got an incentive to do it.
He's being Jewish.
Why don't you just start before from
You mean do heter mechira? Here's a raya. No, I have no idea.
Don't buy chametz that was sold on Pesach.
They don't hold with the rabbanon, so they can't do it actually here.
Oh.
People don't buy.
Savruha, no, but he's not a kusi. This guy's not a kusi. No, this guy's not a kusi. This is just a guy. This is a mummer. Says the Gemara. Savruha mani Reb Yehudi. This is machlokes. whether or not Chometz Shover Lav Pesach is Asur B'Hana or not. Omani Rabbi Yudi the Omar Chometz Achar Pesach D'Oraisa. Tani, right? Reb Shimon says that it's only a Takonos Chachamim. We gave him a Knas. Reb Yehuda says that's the Raisa. Uktani Mipnei Shehei Machlifim Amalei Shavik Etera V'Achli Surah. So Gemara understands from here that because it says that they traded in, Amalei Shavik Etera V'Achli Surah. He's not gonna do something. If he could do it better, he's not gonna do it be'isr. So over here also, if this mummer guy, he has two things in front of him, kosher or not kosher, he's gonna take the kosher. Mimai says the Gemara, what's the right? Dilma Reb Shimoni, who told you he goes according to Reb Yehuda, that's the right. So maybe it's only the Rabbanon. Maybe the Gemara, all the Gemara is saying is that since this whole problem of Chametz Shavar Al Pesach is only Rabbanon, and he's a mummer, so we allow the Jew to buy from this guy because it's only a small Isser D'Rabbanon. Says the Gemara, no. Reb Shimon. Adarab, because this is the Rabbanon, you see this guy's going through all the hardship in the Rabbanon, so when it comes to the rice of treif, of course he's going to be careful. The Hagufa, Memonavshach, if you're going to tell me it's the Rabbanon, it's even a greater raya for us, not a worse raya. It doesn't say in the Gemara because maybe he traded it. It says Mipnei Shemachlifim Ktani. I know for a fact this guy is going to go through all the hardship and trade it. It is going to be traded. The Vadi Machlifim, it's 100% us that he's going to trade it. A Jew is a Jew, and even the Rabbanon is going to be makbid. He's going to go out of his way. Reminds me, Mamish now, I just remember the story. I was in a hotel on Pesach with my friend Yehuda Freilich, and there was a whole group of these guys, they call them tuna bagels. I don't know if you're familiar. It's Hasidim that are not 100% from. They look like Hasidim, and they talk like Hasidim. And Bekitzer, some people, I didn't see it with my own eyes, some people saw them eating chametz on Pesach. They were eating chametz, and I saw they went into an elevator, and they were pushing the buttons, the whole thing. And one guy told me a story, a crazy story, Mamish, not from. The story they told me is not important for now. Not for kids, not. So on Matzah Yantiv, on the first day of Chalamayid, they asked me, where am I going? I said, I'm going to Tveria. I'm going to check out a pizza shop there. They make pizza out of matzah. So they said, okay, we want to come. We want to follow you. So the whole carload of tuna bagels, they get in and they're playing Lipa Schmelzer music the whole way, and they're blasting and they're jumping out of the windows. We get to Tveria, and we come in and I start ordering pizza, and I see them they're walking in circles. They don't know what to do with themselves. They're coming, they're going. I said, no, guys, finally I said, no. It looks like chametz, we can't eat it. It looks like chametz. So I told the guy, but you eat real chametz. He says, yeah, but it doesn't look like chametz. That part didn't happen, the last line. But I said it to myself. He said, like, looks like chametz. Fine. So, but Lamai said, this mummer guy, I'm serious, he's a mummer, he does other things, he eats treif, but he's going to go out of his way, and he's going to make sure that he's not going to be over on the Rabbanon. To his taiva, he needed to have a taiva then, and he's going to be over. Fine. Says the Gemara,
We have that recorded.
Okay, so we have another raya to Rava. Even though we have one raya, we have another raya that Rava says that a guy that's a mummer, we could use his hechsher. It's not a problem. We can use his shchita. It says Hakol shoytim vafilu kusi vafilu orel vafilu yisrael mummer. 3 guys that are not 100%. We could use their shchita. The kusi, orel, he doesn't have a bris milah, but he's Jewish, and a mummer, off the derech guy. Says the Gemara, Haid orel echdami. Let's understand this. Right, the famous sugya. A guy whose 2 brothers before him, they died as a result of bris milah. He should do a bris milah. Why? Because it's a sakana. Sakana is nefashos. But he has a halacha, and you see over here the aleph means la halacha. He's a Jew for everything. He's 100%. We can't have a taina on him for not having bris milah. Elab shita. So what does it mean he's a oral? And what's the big chiddush? This guy he could be a rosh hashiva without a bris. Says the Gemara, no, it has to be that it's talking about mumar la'arelos. he's off the derech when it comes to bris milah. Rashi says, you look at Rashi real quickly, Mumar la'arelis, mivayit b'mitzvah zu. He kicks it. He has one mitzvah he kicks. Now, this is problematic, the Kesef Mishnah points out, because if you kick a mitzvah, even one mitzvah, then you become a mumar lahachas, not l'tayavain. If he says, so that's why the Kesef Mishnah, what?
He's 8 days old.
No. This guy's 20 years old. His father's a Russia also. It's a family tradition, no bris milah. He's 20 years old, and they said, listen, you got to do a bris. He says, I hate that mitzvah. I erased that mitzvah from my Torah. According to Rashi. And says the Kesef Mishnah, that's a problem, because if you say on any mitzvah, you say Lashon Hara, is not, I don't care about Lashon Hara, then you're a mumar lahachas. A mumar lahachas cannot do shchita. We're talking about a mumar l'teyavain. Therefore, the Kesef Mishnah says we're talking about a case, but Rashi doesn't say it, a case where the guy says, it's too much pain for me. I don't want it. What?
That's like specific.
That's l'teyavain. By the way, I don't know, I just heard another Maisa today. I just remembered a Maisa. It's Maisa Shabbos, Maisa, Melava Malka. No, this is a good Maisa. There was a guy, I heard this from the guy. There was a video going around, maybe you heard the story. A guy was at a wedding, and he made the couple Bali Tshuva. He was a Babitcher. He made the Chassan and the Kala Russians, he made them Bali Tshuva, and he's all excited. He says he's going to make this the wedding of the year. He ran around to everybody, says, we got to dance. Everybody's dancing. There's one old man sitting, he's not dancing. He says, let's go. He says, no, I can't go. He says, you got to go, you got to dance. He says, I physically can't go. He says, what's up? He said, I had a bris today. He says, you had a bris today? He says, yeah. He says, he's the grandfather of the Chassan. And the Chassan said, if you don't have a bris, you're not going to stand under my chuppah. Under my chuppah only with a bris. So he says, I love my grandson. He's my favorite. He only had one grandson or whatever. This is my guy. L'kovet is chasna, he's going to have a bris. So he had a bris. So the guy says, you know what? I'm tearing up here. Mamish, it's unbelievable what you just told me. He takes out his wallet. He says, and here's the $1 from the Rebbe. The Rebbe gave me $1. So the guy starts crying. He says, this is Maisi. He says, 50 years ago I came to New York from Russia, and I went to see the Rebbe. And I can't believe I'm saying this on video. No, a good Maisi is a good Maisi. Listen. He went, and the Rebbe gives him $1, and the Rebbe says, you have a bris milah? He says, no. He says, the day you get a bris milah, you'll get another $1. Oh. All right. So, going back to our sugya, he's a mumar la'arelos. Good, very good. No, it's a Sunday wedding. It was in the afternoon. So, what a little. All right. Mumar la'arelos. We're talking about mumar la'arelos. So this guy he won't do a bris milah. So no, I'm saying this Russian is according to the Kesef Mishnah. He doesn't want the pain. Why did Russia not have bris milah? Because he's 50 years old. He's gonna have a bris milah now. It's crazy. So he said, no, I'm not gonna do a bris milah. So he's a mumar l'te'avain on one mitzvah. So then we have to understand, what does mumar mean? What's the difference if you're mumar on Shabbos or mumar for a bris? Why did the Brisa say 3 types of people? Kusi, I understand. That's a whole category. Then there's a guy that doesn't do a bris, and then there's another guy called a mumar. What's the difference between a mumar and a guy that doesn't have a bris? They're both mumars for one mitzvah.
You have to go against Torah. One just says, I don't want the pain, and the tear.
Oh, Shev al Taisi, you're saying. Okay, here, very nice. Because just because you don't do one thing and it's l'te'avain, it doesn't mean that you're a mumar for the whole Torah. So let's see what the last part of the Brisa is. Yisrael mumar, and even a Jew that's a mumar. Hi mumar echidami. What kind of mumar are we talking about? What does davar acher mean? Other than what we're talking about. We're talking about nevela. We're talking about shchita nevela. So if he's in a mumar for another mitzvah in the Torah, not nevela, hainu mumar la'arelos. So there's no difference between that mumar and a guy that doesn't have a bris. They're the same category. So why are you bringing 3 cases? It's really 2 cases. Mumar and kusi. Finished. Elav mumar lo isei davar. When the Brisa says mumar, it's talking about in shchita, in nevela. Uked Rava. And what does Rava say? That a guy that's a mumar, you could eat his his shchita. Says Gemara, loy loy lo mei malach, mumur loy sedover loy. If he's a mumur in shchita, you can't eat from him. My time, even the dosh bay, a guy that eats treif in a restaurant, it's dosh bay. He steps on it. It becomes nothing to him. Eventually, he loses his sensitivity to it. And he becomes accustomed to it. It becomes mutter to him, and therefore he cannot rely on the shechita either. A guy that he only does one avera. All he does is he eats at McDonald's. Eventually, this guy doesn't know anything, doesn't know between treif and not treif. Everything to him is kosher, not kosher. What's the difference? So how can you rely on a shechita of his? He loses his sensitivity. So you have to say, what does murmur mean? Ela mumur l'avodah zara. And that's a big chiddush. So you have a mumur for arelus, for a bris milah, and then you have another category which is you think would be no good, called mumur l'avodah zara. He does avodah zara, the worst of the worst. A guy in those days, especially back in the time of the malachim and all, their taiva for avodah zara was unbelievable. So it's not the end of the world. Maybe he had this one taiva, but he kept the whole Torah, and he couldn't control himself when it came to avodah zara. You're allowed to eat from shchita. For to Rava. That what? No, it says here that a person that is a mumur for avodah zara, so it's a mumur l'tei avon, and you could. Or you're saying that it's not a raya because of the shechita? I thought it was a raya. So what does it say? That's not a raya?
He says it's not a raya. We're saying loy.
Yeah, so you're right. You're right. It's all Mendy's fault, by the way. I thought we had a guy today.
That's why that's my story. That's it.
Right. Right, he says I got today, so I had to throw in the stories. Gufa, Amar Rav Anan Shmuel, Yisrael Mumar, L'avodah zara, mutar lachem shchitasei. If a guy, a Jew, does avodah zara, you're allowed to eat from a shechita. Shekemetzinu beYehoshaphat melech Yehuda, shenehena mesudas achav. You had Yehoshaphat, who was a king, who was a tzaddik. And you have Achav the Rasha. Achav was the worst king, they said. He did the most avodah zara, more than you know what was even worse than him? His wife. What was his wife? Izebel. Izebel was the worst of the worst. She sought after all the Nevi'im and all the Talmid Chachamim. She killed them all. So says the Gemara, you see that Yehoshaphat ate from Achav. Now Achav doesn't mention anywhere that he was bad when it came to kashrus. He only ate badats, but he did a lot of avodah zara. Shenemar vayisbach le'achav tzoinu v'okar l'roiv v'l'om asher imoy. So what happened was, Achav wanted to go to war, and he wanted support. So he went to Yishav. He says, "Look, come with me." And in order to seduce him, they made a feast. And it says, "V'siseu he seduced him la'alois el Ramois Gilad to do war with Ramois Gilad." And how did he seduce him? Obviously with food. V'dilma mizbach zavach meichal le'ochal. Where does it say over there that he ate the food, that Yehoshaphat actually tasted it? Says Gemara, v'siseu ksiv. He seduced him. Maybe he just convinced him with words. No. Usually to convince somebody it's with food. Over dinner. That if your brother is going to come and convince you. So over there also means the brother convinced him not with words, with food and drink. It says Akash Baruch Hu tells the Satan by Eoiv. He said, "What are you doing to me? Why do you make me give this Eoiv? He's such a tzaddik. Why are you giving? Why do you convince me to give him all these yisurim? But the siseni voy levalei chinam." No, obviously, the Satan didn't give Hakadosh Baruch Hu food to convince him, to seduce him, so to speak. It was with words. So you see that seducing can be done without food. Says the Gemara, you're right. Lemalashani. In that particular case, when we're referring to Hakadosh Baruch Hu doesn't eat. So can't be that it was with food, it was with words. But with humans, the way you seduce somebody is with food. Says the Gemara, maybe it was with drink, not with food. Maybe he gave him good wine. So what are you going to gain by drinking wine? Because you're going to tell me that he's only a mumul avodah zara, and therefore it's not a raya for everything else. Achila nami mumar la'avodah zarah lehavim mula kol haTorah kula. Says the Gemara, Ochi Hashta, Shtiyos stam yeinamu. What's so bad about drinking wine? It's stam yayin, meaning you don't know if the guy did avodah zarah to it or not. Now, stam yayin was always mutter, especially in those days of Achav, Izevel, Yeshafat. It was mutter. When did stam yayin become asur? We learned in avodah zarah. That was Bishamai. The 18 things that when Bishamai got control that one night, they decided they instituted 18 things. One of the 18 things was stam yain of a guy is asur. So says the Gemara, so maybe he only gave him to drink. Says Gemara, a king doesn't drink without eating; it goes together. So maybe there's food there. It says the two words together. So the seducing happened through food. Now, Ovadia, he hid 100. We say it in the Haftarah, right? He hid 100 Nevi'im in a cave. There's no food for them. Shemen, the whole thing. But he's a big tzaddik. He got awarded for doing this, for hiding 100 Nevi'im from Izevel, who was running around killing people. He got Nevu himself. But he's a tzaddik. So Gemara says, and he also lived in Achav's palace. He was the head guy there. He's the main guy. As the Gemara, he's the main guy. So maybe a tzaddik shechted it, and that's why the shechit is good. He's mamish top shoichet. Says the Gemara, and now Rashi just points out. Oh, maybe later. Fine. L'roiv ksiv. There's a lot of meat going on there. He has his whole entourage. It's impossible that one person, Ovadia, could shecht for everybody. Ovadia lo have a sofik. He wouldn't accomplish it. V'dilma shivas alofim zavuach. There's still 7,000. Shivas alofim zavuach. There's still 7,000 kosher Jews alive, and maybe they helped out with the shechita. It was a major shechita. They brought in all these 7,000 people. The chsiv. Hashem told Eliyahu Hanavi, "V'yisharti b'Yisrael shivas alofim." I left over 7,000. All the guys that didn't bow to the Baal. So the Gemara, where are you going to find 7,000? Tamur Avim and Tamir Mizevel, they're all hiding. Says the Gemara, "V'dilma gaver da Achav avamalu." Maybe Achav had in his entourage some guys that were really kosher. On this, Rashi says, wait a minute, but Izevel seeks out the good guys and kills them. Says Rashi, but what about Ovadia? He was a good guy and she didn't kill him. Why didn't she kill him? So that's the last lines in Rashi on the page. V'kibin hava b'beis Achav lo hirei mizevel. It's in Rashi on the page. V'kibin hava b'beis Achav lo hirei mizevel. Anybody who was in the palace didn't have to fear her. The Ovadia mimuna al beis mitzad gomor. So Rashi says that's the raya. Anybody that lived there already had, they were grandfathered in, so to speak, with the tzitkas. So they didn't have to worry about it. She wasn't killing people that lived in there that served the king. She went out to seek other people. Says the Gemara, don't say that Achav's people were tzaddikim, they're able to shech. D'chsiv Moishel Makshiv al Dvar Sheker Kol Mishorsa V'Shaim. When you have a bad ruler, all his servants are bad. Ask the Gemara, maybe Yoshafat's people are not good, and therefore what? So basically, there's only one guy that needed kosher meat. Yeshafat came with his whole entourage; they're all bad guys. We already established Achav and all of his people bad. So maybe Yeshafat was very good, he's a tzaddik, but his entourage was bad. So you only needed one animal, which Ovadia could have shechted. The whole problem was that Ovadia couldn't shecht a lot of animals. Who eats kosher? Nobody's eating kosher. Maybe whatever Ovadia shechted, that's what Yeshafat ate. But you don't need more kosher meat, because all these guys don't care about kosher. Says the Gemara, it works both ways. If a ruler is wicked, then his people are wicked. But if a ruler is a tzaddik, then all his people are tzaddikim. So Yeshafat and all his entourage were all tzaddikim. Says the Gemara, "V'dim zvuach gabri da'achav achal achav v'gabri." Maybe whatever Achav and his people shechted, they ate. Zvuach gabri d'shavad achal yishavad v'gabri. Maybe there's two shchitas. There's two lines. There's the rabbanot and there's the badat. I mean, sorry. There's the non-kosher and the kosher. So the Gemara lo have a mavli nafshe minei. What's going on here? They're making a meal. They're trying to make achdus. Right? I thought I saw a nice lashon here of achdus, and maybe not. There's somewhere else. They were trying to be one. So they're not going to start saying, "Oh, I don't need your hechsher. I'm too frum for you. I'm just this is achdus." So Yeshua was eating from Achav, and Achav was eating from Yeshua. Should we let's just finish. It's a few lines here. How do you know that they were together? Oh, maybe this is where I saw it. No. I'm like you, you're like me, we're all the same. So when it says my horse is like your horses, does that also mean in Issa Beheter we're the same? So it can't be. So what was he saying? He's saying, whatever happens to your horses happened to my horses, whatever happened to your people happened to my people. So it can't be that that's the pshat that there we see that they're one. That the Elamacha Umelch Yisrael v'Shovat Melech Yehuda Yoshim Ish al Kisoy Milubashim Begodim Begoyren Pesach Shar Shomer. Goyren is the place where you thresh the wheat. They were sitting in this Goyren place. So the Gemara, my Goyren, it can't mean literally in the. Why would a king sit there in the by what? You have a Goyren by the entrance. My Goyren Elam Goyren Mamash Otu Shar Shomer Goyren Ava El Ki Goyren. It's like a threshing place. It's not in Sanhedrin. It's a Kachatzi Goyren Agula. The Sanhedrin would sit in a half a circle. So they should see each other. Oh, maybe over here that's where Rashi says it. Maybe not. Oh yeah, here's Rashi. Ki Goyren. Ki Goyren ho yoshim bechiba ubereyus ubaguda achas ki Sanhedrin shein choshin zeh. They sat in a semicircle. They all could discuss it. They're all best friends. They all ate the same shchita. I'll see you tomorrow in 11 hours.